Oh man, good evening, everybody. Good evening. We're back. I believe this is week 14, SWAC Championship week. As always, it's another great day to be a Panther. It's the vice president of the 12th fan code himself, Kaler, checking in. And I got some familiar faces meeting again. I've got some new faces meeting again. Fellas, introduce yourself.
I guess it's my cue to go first. Okay. Matthew, thank y'all for having me. First of all, my name is Matthew Bryce. I work for Game On Sports. Been in the sports media business for 7 years, covering high school football, basketball, baseball, and I do a little bit of college lacrosse. I'm also a play-by-play commentator. And my end game, I want y'all to turn on your TV one Saturday, and I'm doing that big college game going forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Talon Gamble, man. I was here a couple times during the football season. You know, proud Alcorn alum. And I play arena football currently for the Louisiana Rougarou. Tune in this spring to see some of my games. Thanks y'all for having me, man.
Man, my name's Mark Henry. Cover high school football, college football in the state of Texas. Lead scout for DR7. I cover 707, recruiting around the country, national scout for the platform. Cover Texas as well for hornsports.com and Mustang Wire for SMU. So, you know, college football, high school football, you can't miss me with it. You know what I mean? Been doing this for 11 years. So, you know, originally from the Houston area. You know what I'm saying? An outside representative. So I'm very, very familiar with PV. My dad's a PV alum. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So got a little purple Panther blood in us. You know what I'm saying? So, man, anytime y'all ring, you know, shout to Generis, man. I'm gonna come, man. I had a great time with you guys last time, and looking forward to talking about this championship game. Let's get it.
There you go. All right.
That's right. And I can't forget my favorite co-host, Janaris. How we feeling tonight?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro, man. Just ready for the show, man.
Man, so I know, you know, we have some innocent bystanders with us tonight. So I know y'all been seeing the war, the battlefield going on any social media platform, Facebook, Twitter, the YouTube comments. Hey, I even seen some stuff on TikTok, right? I guess after the dust settles, we can all say that this was officially the biggest game of the year that the SWAC has had, right? I mean, there was a lot of talk. There's a lot of chatter for the Alabama Jackson State game, but I think this one really just has that flair to it. Both sets of fan groups genuinely don't like each other, genuinely don't care for each other. We meet face to face after a full year of talking. Really, this is almost about a pregnancy. It's been about 9 months. We've been waiting to get to Jackson. Once we blew our opportunity, we knew where we needed to go. It's almost about a pregnancy. So now that we're in that state where we get to face off head to head, I'm excited to see what my Panthers are able to do and just prove to everyone how lethal they are and how great a coaching staff T-Jack put together. Just to do a quick recap, guys, these are the Panthers that were able to take home some all SWAC awards for us. Calvin McMillan, our offensive lineman, Josiah Rockwell, second in reception yards. We had Trevor Randall. We also had Malik, Eric Zachary, Chase Bingman, and Trayvon Jones, all getting all SWAC honors. I was correct in my prediction of getting a total of 7, but we did have some snubs. Just overall, guys, how do you feel about the award season this year, and what are your thoughts and opinions?
There's definitely some snubs. Definitely some snubs. JSU fans ain't gonna like what I gotta say, but Jacoby Morgan shouldn't have been second team All SWAC quarterback. Y'all get mad at me in the comments all y'all want to. He only played 3 conference games. Please give me one reason why I think he should make second team.
You're not alone on that for me. I'm gonna be honest. I agree with you, and it's not that he's a bad player. I'm not speaking about.
Oh
his
no, he's
talent,
not. No,
right?
he's not
I'm
a
not
bad
speaking
player.
about
No,
his
he's
ability as a player, right? But
Nah.
statistically speaking,
Yeah.
that you only played 3 conference games, you didn't lead in any stat category in particular.
Oh.
You know, I do believe that was a little egregious for them to do that. Mr. Henry, were there any players that you may be familiar with that made all SWAC, or anybody
Listen,
that stood
I
out to you?
had a chance to see Chase Bingham as when he was playing at Terrell High School. And to see him getting the opportunity to play as a freshman was big. I think going into it, Coach Jackson set a standard for what he wanted, and for anywhere in college football for a freshman to get on the field early and make an impact, I thought that was big for PV. Establishing a running game is something you have to do out of the gate. That means that offensive line is establishing the physical nature from the get-go in the game. You know what I mean? And he had a phenomenal year. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Out of those guys, that was the guy I was most impressed with seeing him on there. I think he's got a foothold in that conference, and he's on everybody's scouting report now. It won't be a secret. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I know y'all were speaking about the quarterbacks on the All SWAC team. If not Cameron Peters, at least RJ Johnson III should have gotten some consideration for second team.
Definitely.
They definitely swung and missed on that.
They did.
And that's what all due respect to the brother from Jackson State, he can play, but like you said, your availability is your best ability.
And we
if
played
he
3
only
conference
played 3 games. Yes, sir. Yeah. So you got to take that into consideration, and you have to ask, okay, what about the young men over here at Florida A&M and PV?
Right.
And also, I look back at the secondaries too. I know this coming from somebody like I'm not trying to be biased when I say this because as a Graham alum myself, but Blake Davis and Raby should have at least made it. Tyrell Raby or Blake Davis, one of the two should have made it. I feel like both of them boys got snubbed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very interesting. From my viewpoint, there was a lot of talent in the SWAC this year that unfortunately, unless you were just glued to SWAC TV every Saturday, it was really, really hard to see. They made some rule changes right before the season started where they changed the rule from 75% of games have to be played in order to win an award to 50%. So that affected a lot of things. Still, I thought that they would still go with the statistical numbers because back in previous years, they would just go, hey, whoever has the highest amount of receiving yards and touchdowns, you're number one. You have the most passing yards, you're number one. You have the most rushing yards, you're number one. But this year, I felt that they kind of individually chose certain people. I don't know if it was because of Andrew Body. I'm not saying that Andrew Body shouldn't have won the award. He should have. Even though he played 8 games, he still had well over the amount of passing yards than everybody, well over the amount of rushing yards. He just didn't have the amount of games, but he still earned that and deserved those awards. But it wasn't because he got those awards that we had to make up for some other people that they wanted to bring acknowledgement to.
Right. But like you said, no knock on Body because Body deserves it. But like you said, his name's always in the media and it's always on TV and it always stands out. Now, granted, he make plays. I ain't gonna knock him. He make plays. He's there when they need him there. But like you said, playing 8 games,
And with Andrew Body too, I feel like he doesn't just have the passing stats. He's got about 800 rushing, doesn't he?
Yeah. He has about 800 rushing, I think.
Yeah. He can do it all.
So, it's hard not to pick him when he's doing that, and he's done that in 8 games. See, he has a bigger body of work.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now that one, that ain't no fuss about that one. That was rightfully deserved on that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. Rightfully so, he deserved that one because in 8 games, especially with the stats that he had, yeah.
Definitely, yeah, I definitely agree with you, Boone. Yeah, that was they definitely missed the mark on that one. I also feel like there were some other guys that they did miss, or they did miss. For instance, our starting linebacker Kennedy Parker, he's up for National FCS Defensive Player of the Year. I believe he has double-digit tackles for loss. If not, right, he's like right there. He got snubbed. I'm leaning towards at this point we need a third team added
At this point,
to the SWAC at this point, since they can't seem to do a good job getting it right with 22. But with Chase Bingman, getting the recognition that he deserves, getting freshman of the year, also obtaining second team all SWAC. I mean, I was surprised they gave us an O lineman as well. Because
my
I think they
God,
got all 5 for Alabama State.
Mm.
all of them got. I think all of them got it too.
But they were. Now granted, from the games that I was able to see my team play, Alabama State was the best offensive line that I was able to see in the SWAC this year. That I'm not gonna rag on that one. They were pretty solid.
In my opinion, they had the best online in the SWAC too. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, they were pretty solid. Though that was the only offensive line I looked at and said, "Wow, this is a beautiful sight to see." I love the way they run the ball.
And then they play together too. Like they play together, open holes, and that chemistry with it too.
Oh man, let me see. Alrighty, well, I guess we go ahead and get to the big show. It's time. The keys to the game rolling down to Jackson. Personally, I'm heading out Friday morning. I'm excited. I'm already packed. I already got the game day outfit ready. Y'all might see me with purple jeans on, purple boots, and a purple hat on. Man. You ain't gonna know where I came from. But the outfit is ready. Keys to the game. Personally, my opinion, PV's defense is elite and it needs to be elite. It needs to come out there dominant, hard hitting, downhill, and of course, limiting any big plays and deep plays. Our offense is peaking at the right time, but we need to keep our balanced approach. I would love to see us at around 52-48 run pass. If we can establish the run early and often, it can be a scary sight against the front seven of Jackson State, especially if they're going to be alternating, dropping back Quincy Ivory and coverage or not. I think we're really going to take advantage of that, especially in the RPOs. Talon, man, how you feeling? I know you got a lot to say about Jackson. I know you got a lot to say about the SWAC Championship.
Man, I got PB. I got PB in this one for sure. I definitely got y'all in this one for sure because their secondary not strong. They have a weak secondary. I feel like if y'all attack that weak secondary, like you said, defensively, y'all strong defensively, y'all play physical, y'all play downhill, attack that weak secondary. I think PB gonna pull that out for sure. Because from what I seen, we beat Jackson, and they can then they like to say an excuse. Oh, Morgan didn't play this. Morgan didn't play that. I mean, y'all played them. You gotta stay foot on the gas. Don't leave off of it. Don't take advantage of it. I think PV got the talent to pull this one out.
Definitely. Mr. Matthew, how we feeling?
Well, number one, it all leads back to one common place.
Okay.
You got to win up front.
Yes, sir.
And not just on the offensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. You have to beat Prairie View. If you have to beat Jackson State at the point of attack.
Yes, sir.
You have to be the aggressor. You have to take the fight to it. Especially you going down there in their backyard. So they're going to be favored anyway, which you respect that.
Right.
Yep.
So go in there with that chip on your shoulder and don't get too far away from, trying to prove a point of having a chip on your shoulder. Play within the between the goalposts and between the yard markers and win up front and tape study.
Yes, sir. I'm
Now,
with that.
Talon, he mentioned that they're gonna be dropping some guys back in the coverage.
Yeah.
This is when young Cam and the OC at PV, they have to be on their P's and Q's. They got to be on their best and noticing that and realizing, hey, this is what they're doing on this play. Realizing when they may be disguising a blitz. Look for tips in the tape when you studying the tape to make you understand and realize where are they giving off something that lets you know that they're going to be disguising a blitz or they're going to be dropping back guys back in the coverage. And then that's when you can hit them with a good audible. And somebody predicting JSU in a blowout. Ooh.
Whoa.
They ain't blow out nobody all year. They ain't beat nobody by 40 all year. They been hollering.
We're gonna
take that hashtag off.
We're gonna pause it right there and say the delusions are crazy.
The comment before that too.
Oh well, this one's so long. I don't even know if it will appear.
Yeah, Pierre.
See, like this one.
And if you're a JSU fan, you lost to a SWAC West team. So what?
This comment is just strange because y'all lost to Grumbling.
Grumbling, though, like,
lost to us. Literally lost to us.
Who had a backup quarterback as well. So
yes.
It's really pointless. We had the same schedule. The whole schedule argument is pointless. I think you guys are ranked 121. We're right there at 125, a few notches below, right? So we pretty much had the same schedule. But Jackson, you guys have a different fear in your heart. You guys have been staying up a little later. You guys been tweeting a little bit more than you normally do. I done seen y'all talk about knocking people's nachos out their hands and waving pom-poms in people's faces. So, this game is definitely getting to you guys in a different way.
Why you lying, dude?
You guys got to get it together. I don't know if y'all are the favorite or we're the favorite. But I'll before I let Mr. Henry go, I'll break it down like this, Jackson. My team has played in front of 60,000, just like how y'all finna go put 35,000 in that rented stadium, right? My team also has played good offenses, bad offenses, good defenses, bad defenses. But nobody from Jackson can break down to me exactly how y'all are even going to score more than 3 touchdowns. Unless y'all are just going to hand the ball off 40 times. I heard the plan is to bring out the general, the commander, Jacobian Morgan with 1 foot. And if you bring that rusty man out there, let that rust wear off on our defense, the number one pass defense in FCS. He's going to have to hand it off 40 times because if we stop that run, all 3 of those running backs have a tough time running. And if we get ahead, it's over with. I want Jacoby Morgan to throw the ball. Let him drop back 20 times. I guarantee you we finish with 2 interceptions at the end of the day.
Haymakers.
Oh, yeah,
comment section.
You're right. JSU is favored by 8.5. But it's only Wednesday, brother. Let people buy in because I'm not gonna lie. I like that plus 8.5. We're taking that. We're taking that. I'm making some money that day.
Yeah.
We're taking that.
JSU fans in there talking crazy right now. Jesus,
Yeah.
hold on.
Like always,
hold on. You warned me about this, Janaris. Hold on now.
Don't let them.
Yeah,
don't let them rattle you. Don't let them rattle you.
Worried
I just wonder if they're gonna play Rock the House down 17-7. Does that come on when y'all are losing, or is that y'all only play that when y'all winning? Because I want to hear that. That's my favorite song. I want y'all to play it for me when we up. When Chase Beeman get to doing that little dance in the end zone, I want to see if y'all gonna play Rock the House for us. That would be wonderful.
I want to see this. I'm not sure if people can beat Alcorn right now.
See, I love this comment. Let's break it down. Smoot is way better. Tayshaun Smoot is way better than Lockhart. Tayshaun Smoot can go throw for 350 yards on somebody. Lockhart only throws the ball 10 times a game. TC doesn't even let him lose the game. Think about that. TC doesn't even give him the space to even play a game, make a call or anything. They say give the ball to Aubrey Miller. Give the ball to I can't remember the backup's name. He just started playing the other day. You guys stopped throwing the ball 6 weeks ago.
Oh, you meant Ahmad Miller too.
Well, hey, Aubrey Miller, Ahmad Miller, Shelby Miller. We coming to Jackson and we putting 40 on them. That's how we talking. There's only one team that been putting 40 on people, and that's PV. It ain't been Jackson State's locomotive offense. Y'all might as well get up there and run the YNPs.
Boy, that's cold.
Wing T is crazy.
Oh God, Wing T is diabolical. Boy, finna run that Paul Johnson offense.
Yeah, that's what they doing. That Bear Bryant. That's what they doing. That's all they gonna do out there. So that's what I'm saying. Let Cam Peters get real comfortable in there. There are multiple championship players from Valdosta coming in. This is nothing new to them. There are plenty of players on this team that have been there who went in 2023, where we had to deal with a amazing FAMU team that really nobody was going to beat that year. Let's be honest. Nobody beat them that year. They went 15-0, I think, 14-0.
No. FAMU, no. That FAMU team was different.
Bring up DQB stats. I wish I could pull it up for you, brother. They ain't even really worth talking about, brother, man. But Mr. Henry, I do apologize for my tangent. Please, your thoughts.
No. This is great. This is great for the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to build this thing up. I think it's great for the fans. You guys are putting on a great product and giving them, a taste of what they're gonna see. But I agree with Bryce. It's gonna come down to the trenches. PV's only giving up a little less than 16 points defensively. JSU's giving up about 18. You got 5 players on PV's defense led by Randall that got 60+ tackles. They flying around to the football. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's, I look sideways out is this is a de facto home game for JSU. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If I'm PV, I'm coming in there stomping like the big dogs. You know what I mean? I think you got to establish it, right away, because you're going into a hostile environment to win a championship. I think Rockwell is going to have a big game. He'll be over. He's at about 988 and 7 tutties. He's going to go over the 1,000 mark for sure. Trayvon Randall's been playing at a high level. I looked at a little bit of his tape. He's a ball hawk in the secondary for PV. So, it's up to Peters and Beekman and those guys to come on with it. Establish that run game early and often, and try not to play behind the sticks, 3rd and long, 3rd and 14, playing in their own shadow of their end zone of things that they can't afford to have, happen in their, not in their favor so far. But I think if you're Coach Jackson, this is a program building type of opportunity, that they need in their favor. You know what I'm saying? They need to win this game to show that, hey, they're the kings of the SWAC right now. They got the West Championship, and this is not their first time winning the West Championship. PV's got to get over the hump, and this is the type of game that they need to get over the hump and show the rest of the country that, hey, something's going down in PV this year. You know what I'm saying? The coaching staff, and you got to look, at the job that these guys have done in a short period of time, coming in the spring, early summer, and really getting a hold of these guys, changing the culture. You know what I mean? Playing top-notch competition, and this is a loaded SWAC game. I think that this is going to be some big-time football. Man, I definitely can't wait to see what happens here. And, I think PV has a chance to go in there and stomp like the big dogs and get a win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Janaris, how we feeling?
I'm feeling very comfortable going in this game, real talk. I just feel like we play our game like we've been doing. The passing game goes good. And, of course, the run game goes good like it used to be. And, hey, I just feel like defensive-wise, we start to run. We got this for sure. 1,000%.
No, I definitely said our special teams definitely has to be on point.
Yeah,
I'm expecting deep kickoffs. To be honest, I don't expect very many field goals. I think anytime that we're within our red zone or on that threshold of scoring, I can see us going for it on fourth down. It's going to this game is going to be one of two ways, right? It's either going to be one of those low scoring, whoever has the ball last game, in that kind of way, or it's going to be a shootout, and whoever has the ball last will end up winning as well.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
I
what you're
think
talking
I
about
think
with
it's about
Wallace.
establishing control. You got to establish control of the game. Um, I mean, any run game technically is cancelable, right? Will I think when we really start breaking down the game, right, and we're looking at these two coaches, I'm under the impression that T-Jack can make a few more adjustments than TC can in order to win this game. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. We have the players to run multiple schemes on offense, run multiple schemes on defense, and we're still not going to load the box. You guys are going to have to run on a 3-down front, right? And I know you guys didn't play it in high school. I happened to play it in high school. It is extremely tough to guard a 3-man front. I'm telling you. When you got a big old nose like Olajuwon Sparks at 6'3", 390, that's a big guy to have to move and have to double team every single play. So it's going to be tough to find those lanes.
It's going to go back to Jackson State, the center. I think his matchup and in the game that he calls as a center. I think that's going to play a part too. And like you said, dealing with that 3-man front, has Jackson State seen that this year?
Man,
Have they seen?
Hold up, man. Time out, man.
Hey, them boys see everything.
Time out, man. Time out, man. Bro said he eat fried chicken on the line.
Hey, man. Hey, everybody got to eat, man. Even podcast got to
I ain't eating all day, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Fair point, BTY. Y'all do play a 3-man front, so that may be something that y'all used to seeing in practices anyway. But it was something I had to ask that question. I appreciate that.
TV won't stop.
Oh boy, that was good.
Yeah, that was definitely a good. Okay.
That's cool.
I mean, I'm not mad at a coach.
Saying PV ain't gonna stop the run. Mick say PV won't stop the run. Oh,
I'm not seeing it. I mean, granted, right? Are they able to make big plays at the run game and things of that nature? Sure, but I'm just not seeing it.
Like it.
Oh, I ain't even know my bad. I'm just going in a row.
Bro,
I mean, it just is what it is. That's just what happens when you step on toes, man. I'm very familiar with that. Just like how I'm gonna be very comfortable at the vet. Right, they're gonna power clean it down for us, wash it down, get it nice and neat for us. They're already gonna have the catfish and spaghetti ready for our after party because we gonna need it. Make sure our locker room on the visiting side. Make sure y'all leave enough champagne and cigars, and we want our cigars to have the little J on them. Don't give us the cheap cigars from the gas station. Give us y'all cigars with that cute little red and white J on it, like a candy cane. That's what we want to smoke on. We smoking on JSU that night, and I can't wait to see it. This is what we've been waiting for, right? The run game being this impenetrable force. So when the run game stops, what happens then, right? We're having Jacoby and Morgan throw the ball 20 times, 30 times. What does that look like? What does the offense have besides that? And don't say Rembert. I think that's what the guy from Valley, who ended up being second team All SWAC as well. I'm not saying he's bad talent wise. However, no wide receiver has eaten on us except for Tony Diaz for UTRGV. And if you're not, and he's a national FCS Player of the Year candidate. So unless you're that guy, unless you're Andrew Body walking out of that tunnel, I'm not seeing this X factor you guys are talking about that's going to allow y'all to get 30 points.
Yeah, we in there.
Well, first of all, you guys are not giving up 30 points already.
Yeah.
You know, you got to look at the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to be a game that's going to be based on field position. Now, I expect it's going to be pretty, pretty chippy as well. You know, who's got the less, these penalized teams going to win this game as well. And then I saw someone in the comments missing special teams. That's always key. You know, what is the forecast clear and everything? Supposed to be good weather?
It's supposed to be around 55 to 50, and it's as of right now, it's like 40% chance of rain.
Okay, see, that changes everything.
Yes, sir.
You know, you have to equate that in there. That means you're gonna get a heavy dose of bean. You know what I mean? And I think that bodes well in PV's favor. You got to look at that. You know what I mean? So
definitely,
all of those things and those coaches on both teams are factoring all of those intangibles into the game plan. You know, it's not going to be a blowout. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was saying it was going to be 42-12. Yeah, it's not going to be a blowout. You know, this is going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. You know what I mean? But I like PV's chances in it. They've built the momentum to get here. This is what they've been working for all year. You know what I'm saying? And for Coach Jackson to get there in his first season is saying something. And I think that they're heading in the right direction as a program as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let me see. Let's see what's going on in here. Running back. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty boring. Oh no. Oh no, I can't believe it. Oh, he made it.
Mr. Isaiah.
Co-host of the year nominee, Mr. Isaiah. Zay from PV Rogers, man. How we doing this evening, man?
Hey man, I apologize guys for my delay. I'm leaving a work event. I've had a few libations, so I'm ready to go ahead and say what I want to say at this point in time. We coming, man. I don't know what y'all have said up until this point, but we getting on planes, trains, and automobiles, like my coach said, and we coming to whoop up on some Jackson folks. That just is what it is. So clip it, bookmark it, record it, do what you gotta do. We have no problem with that, but we coming for the smoke. So that's all I got to say. And it's good to see all you guys. Thank you, co-host, for jumping on. And let's get into it.
Yeah, hey man, quick thoughts, man. Can you give us a little breakdown of your thoughts of the game? Some keys to win, right? How you can see us attacking this measly Jackson State defense and stopping this mighty running game with Aubrey Miller, the three-headed dragon, the general, the commander, the pastor, right? How on earth can we combine all the Avengers to stop these guys?
We have the number 1 defense in HBCU football currently. We have the number 3 defense in FCS football currently. I don't know that there's not much talk on my end. There's more action than anything else, in my opinion. And if you don't believe it, you'll see it. Seeing is believing, and guess what? We're coming, right? A lot of people have been speculating as the PD fans. Y'all ain't got no fans. There's 12 of y'all. All 12 of us will be there. I'll talk to the board today. We will be there in full effect, right? I will be in section 121 in a striped purple and gold suit. You won't be able to miss me. You'll probably see me on ESPN too. We coming, okay? And I'm telling y'all, sleep on our team if you want to. Right, all y'all little messages we didn't got to our players. Our coaches didn't seen it too. So we, all disrespect will be addressed, and there's no other breakdown as far as I can get into stats, I can get into everything else, but none of that matters because guess what, guys? Saturday is December 6th, and my coach told y'all at the beginning in January, February at the press conference, Atlanta is the goal, and it has not changed. And we do not care who's in front of us. It could be LSU. It don't matter. We're gonna play everything we got, and best believe we coming. So that's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. This ain't big. My coach said at the press conference. I'm just saying what my coach said. I'm not talking big. I'm telling you what's about to happen. So that's all it is. You can take it for what it's worth. It's a grain of salt. It's a scripture in your word. Whatever you need it to be, because we're gonna be there. Right, like I said, I'm gonna say it again, and then I'm done. Section 121. My name is Isaiah Wilson. I will be in a purple and gold striped jumpsuit. You will not be able to miss me. If you see me on ESPN2, take a recording and say hello, because we will be there, win, lose, or draw, and we will come on here, win, lose, or draw. That's just what it is, and go Panthers.
Panthers.
Amen.
Oh, Panthers. Oh, and one thing I had to mention before anybody forgets, Jackson State is the most penalized team in the SWAC this year.
Ooh.
That's a very underrated, non-talked about stat. They had 10 penalties versus Alcorn, a team which they should have handled very easily. And let's be honest, right? The SWAC blew the call. Yes. Did he do an infraction with the illegal forward pass? Yes. However, a flag was not originally called on that play. So therefore, what were you reviewing other than the score? Right? So that's the infraction that occurred that game. They still probably win that game, right? I don't want anybody to think that they still don't beat Alcorn. You guys still win that game. You're right. The most penalized 9-2 with the weakest schedule in the SWAC. You play on the SWAC East, the same conference with FAMU, Valley, Bethune-Cookman, and Alabama A&M. That's the same side of the conference you're on, buddy. Of course, you would go 9-2. Me and the Texas Women's would go 9-2 over there. So you're right. You earned that part. But what you guys got to understand is when you're playing a team that's as physical as you, as fast as you, and has the best wide receiver in the SWAC, the best quarterback playing currently right now out of this matchup, the best quarterback, the most underrated O-line, is going to get ugly. It's going to get really weird when you see Josiah Rockwell running wide open with that hand waving in the air just like that. It's going to get real awkward. It's going to get real quiet in the vet. It's going to get real weird when Chase Bingman hit that hand. He got and then he cut right about that hole and he's going for 20 yards. It's going to get really, really, really interesting. So all of this fan stuff, all of this, my running back, everybody got a running back in this league. This is
it's a running, baby. It's a running conference.
Yeah, but you're not running for 300 on this team. I'm telling you guys, I'd rather Jackson State be honest and tell me, hey, we're gonna play our best defense against you guys, and we're gonna do our best to make Cam Peters throw the ball right. If they said something like that, I would understand. But they're like, no, we're gonna do what we always do, man. We're gonna halfback dive it all the whole game and put up 40 points. Hey guys, you're in for a treat.
You gotta throw that ball, brother.
You're in for a treat, buddy.
They love bringing up that Lincoln call about y'all.
So I'm not sure if y'all covered this or not previously, but I will say the one resounding thing on the PV side of things that I'm looking forward to is, we got to learn from our mistakes. And what I mean by that is in 2021, we were in the same scenario under the leadership of Eric Dooley, and we went in there with a pretty great defense, pretty good offense, right? And our quarterback, our leader, not to call his brother out because I think he's a great player, but Juwan Paz, right? That game began and ended with the way he played, right? And so I think that in learning from our mistakes, this is do or die for Cam Peters, in my opinion, right? Are we going to get Jackal or are we going to get Hyde? Who is going to show up? Which Cam Peters are we going to get? I like Cam a lot. I believe in Cam. I met him personally and told him when we first recruited him under Bubba's leadership that, hey, I think you can do great things here. But we he can't get in his own way. And for me, that's the difference maker above all else. I really do not care about whatever's on the other side of the ball and what they got and all that, because quite frankly, I think we're pretty evenly matched, in my opinion, across the board. But because they're most likely, we don't know, but we're speculating that they're most likely going to end up having to play their freshman quarterback. I'd like to think we have the nod with Cam Peters and his experience, and depending on which version we get, if we get the one as of late, we're in good position. If we get the one in Alabama State that throws 4 interceptions, then that's just not going to win. You're not going to win many ball games before INT. So I don't know how y'all feel about that, but for me, quarterback play on our end is really going to drive this game, and we need them to win the game. We need them to be a gamer at all costs, whether it's 1 point or 100 points. We need them to win. Put us in position to win. So, didn't know if y'all had any thoughts on the quarterback play or if y'all saw anything otherwise. Please feel free to.
31-10.
Yeah, I was looking at the prediction. I was looking at the other predictions.
Nah. Pop that down. Nah.
And I saw someone mention that PV plays the run more aggressively from the DB spot than any other SWAC team. Now, my question is, in a game like this, can that help PV? Or is this something that Jackson State sees on tape and they try to counter that? Do they alter their offensive approach? Do they try to get a little cute with things, or do they stick to the script? And playing the run, we know Jackson State is physical, but can that extra man in the box, is that going to be an X factor?
Well, I've seen Tremaine Jackson at times mix it up. I've seen him come down. I've seen him show mug, like a mug blitz kind of thing. I've also seen him add an additional lineman from time to time. The only time I've seen him do it was the UTRGV game, which was months ago. And then I think he did it a few times when we played Southern. So I know that we'll be able to make those adjustments there, adding an additional lineman, adding more numbers to the box. But I think the reason why our 3 down front will really be able to stop them and allow our DBs to get active is because with Elijah Sparks needing to be double teamed and he's going to be fighting and causing chaos the entire time. Jackson State is forced to be disciplined on their assignments to prevent Sterling Roberts and Kennedy Parker from crashing down the entire time. All they really have to do is just fill the gaps, shoot the gaps. It's about tackling well. A lot of our, DBs are really technically safeties in position, but in different looks. We're subbing in a lot of guys. We have cover corners. We have a little bit more tackle corners. We have some heavy tackling, some box safeties, you would call it, right? We got some box safeties as well that we're going to be rotating in. So I think it's going to be in a game of adjustments. I don't think that Jackson's going to just run power all game. I think they're going to mix it up and have to show some plays. If their run game is working well, I imagine their play action and them trying to get to Rembert is going to be a connection that they're going to try to get. But with us consistently staying over the top, it's just hard for me to envision exactly how JSU is going to break PV down unless they're just gashing us with the run.
Who takes leg day more seriously? That's going to show up.
Pretty much.
Right.
Especially this time of the year because it's a long season.
Yes.
And now you towards the end.
Right.
And last man standing.
Right.
Whoever takes legs day, whoever is the best at leg day.
That's true. And that is interesting because both teams technically had a bye week going into the game too. So Jackson State has some people coming back from injury. We're a little bit, we're a week healthier. So this being the most anticipated SWAC game in, what would we say, last 5 years? SWAC Championship Game in the last 5 years? 4 years?
Oh my God.
Very much so.
Yeah, 4 years.
5 years. So ESPN is definitely going to get their money worth this year because this might get 1 million views, over 1 million views this week here.
Pretty much,
it's going to be a big week.
Well, I think if PV controls their emotions, not get too high too early, let Jackson State get them kind of out of their comfort zone because, I think when you got that home field advantage like they do, you can try to, put the pressure on them early. You know what I'm saying? But I think they got to weather the storm. Everybody's going to be hyped for this game. As you can see, the comments are going crazy with stuff that's out of this world. But I mean, I think you have. If I'm Coach Jackson, I'm telling my guys, hey, we got to go in here and establish this run early, and play good defense behind it. You know what I mean? And put pressure on that quarterback. I think you've seen guys like Randall make plays behind the line of scrimmage all year long.
Right.
That defense is coming, and very aggressive. And I think this is, PV's taking on the identity of their head coach. And that's right. Coach Jackson's MO. He's aggressive in everything he's done up to this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How do you guys feel about what, as of right now, allegedly, word on the street is Jacoby Morgan is the starting quarterback. If you guys are head coach for Jackson State, how are you guys feeling? How are you making your decision? Who is QB1 on this Saturday for you guys?
Oh,
I have to ask, who is your healthiest?
I was going to say that.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just about to say that.
Hypothetically speaking, in this perfect world, Jacoby Morgan is back at 100%.
Okay.
We would assume that it's been about 8 weeks, right? I know for sure it's been 6 weeks, but
right.
We're in between that 6 to 8 week time frame.
Yeah.
Okay. I say go with the guy. Start the guy that you've been playing.
Okay.
Dance with what got you there. Now, use the approach. Now, I'm about to show my age with this. Mark, you may know what I'm talking about. 94 Orange Bowl, Nebraska against Miami. We saw a lot of Brooke Behringer in that one. And then when things were starting to get away from Nebraska, that's when Tommy Frazier came in.
Mm-hmm.
Won the game. So I say dance with what got you there, Jackson State.
I'm red.
And then if things are not working out, then you go back to your guy.
Right.
Yeah. Who's ever the most healthy is going to get the nod. And, that week of practice, how they're picking up things. I think you're asking a freshman QB to come in this big game and asking a lot from him. You know what I mean? And there's things that he does well and things that Morgan does well. So, if he's coming back from injury, he's going to be very rusty.
Yes.
He's not going to be. He hasn't seen game action, that game speed. In a few weeks. So I agree with Bryce. You go with the guy that's got you there. You dance with the girl that's got you there. You can't leave her hanging. You got to bring her to the door. You know what I'm saying? And not go with that other girl. You know what I mean? So it's that type of party. This is for all the marbles. This is the big game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I definitely agree with you guys. I know that Jacoby Morgan is their guy. I know he is the franchise guy for Jackson State. But from the games that I've watched them play, I have yet to see a game where I watched Lockhart play and I was like, man, this guy's a bad quarterback, or this guy doesn't do what he's supposed to do in order to win the game. Other than the victory formation stuff, right? We'll let that be. We'll let that be a bygone, right? It happens. I've seen a butt fumble before, right? But other than that mishap, it's hard for me to say, all right, Lockhart has to sit down strictly because he's a freshman. I know that does play a part in it, but it feels like the team has gelled and they believe in him, right? They believe in Lockhart. I feel like they play for him. I feel like the O-line blocks a little harder for him. I feel like the running backs run a little harder for him. And so with that new energy, with that new quarterback, a new person calling the plays, a new cadence at the line, at the biggest game of the year is just, I just feel like it's a risky business. And Jacoby Morgan had a non-contact foot injury the first time. How do we know that that's not going to happen again if he gets contact in this game? That's what would really bother me, because I would hate to have him prep for a starter all week just for him to get hurt in the first quarter. Like, I'm not trying to speak that into existence, right? We're knocking on wood, but man, that would really be tragic for him to re-injure it the same way.
And to the points of Boom and McDowell, those are tricky injuries. Those are injuries that you cannot play with. In a game of this magnitude, that's just more reason you need to dance with who got you there.
Well, what's interesting about that is with a broken foot, right? It's kind of like if you're in Jackson's spot, being serious for a second, do you risk the game at hand for potentially having your guy ready to go for a national championship in the event they win? Or do you say, hey, I'm going to just bet the house and, potentially get him more injured than what he is currently? Yeah. Right? It's kind of a conundrum you're in. And like I said, just taking my PV fandom out of it for a second, that has to be a tough call for TC Taylor to make in general, right? Because the player can be saying, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm 100%. But that could also be just all adrenaline because it's such a big game. Right. And then the reality could be I'm 45%, 50%. Right. So regardless who gets out there, the Panthers are coming. We're going to hit. Right. We hit Andrew Body. We made him fumble. We took out several UAPB quarterbacks. Right. So there's nothing that's going to change on our end. I just think Jackson, has to be real careful and considerate about whatever direction they go in, because like you guys are saying, a broken foot is not like a lot of other injuries. It can really just kind of end things if it gets even worse. So curious to see. We don't know to what extent, and obviously, I don't wish any ill will on the young man, but curious to see what they decide to do, and whoever's out there, we're gonna play. We got game plans for both of them. And then also, I listened to another show earlier today. They talked about rust. I want to get you guys' thoughts. What do y'all think about this idea of quarterbacks having rust on them if they've been out a few weeks due to injury? Do y'all think that's a real thing? Like, you can use it in NFL terms. Do you think like a Tom Brady, right, in his prime, if he's out for a few weeks and he had an injury, do you think he has some rust coming back into that first game he's back, or he's Tom Brady and he's gonna rock with from where he's at? What do y'all think about that?
Rust is real.
Rust
is real. A quarterback has to be in a rhythm early, have a sense of, reading his keys early. You know what I mean? I think you got to look at that. I mean, the coaches got to have a pulse of his team, and then, that's where they meet with the quarterback coach, the OC, to see how his week of practice went. And they install in these game plans. They're doing install early. And how has he been doing that? They're going crazy in the comments.
She said he won't even score 14.
It's
It's
some there's some Silky Johnson Buck Nasty type comments in the comments. There's definitely the player haters ball going on.
I'm talking about they are wilding in the comments right now.
Watch PB.
They are wilding in the comments.
He said when you go 14.
But you were saying, I want to make sure, because I think you were touching on some good points. You were saying, my friend, just about the Rush deal.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a real thing. His week of practice and how he's coming back. You'll know from the get-go. I think, if they do come out with him and he's rusty, do you keep him on a short leash? Do they pull him early if he's not, moving the football, if he's not in a rhythm? Those are all the things that they have to take into account. You know what I'm saying? You're facing the best defense, the top defense in the SWAC this year.
So let me flip it this way.
Sure.
If you guys are a head coach and you're having to make a decision between a true freshman, right, who has a few games under his belt, been playing well enough to win you ball games, and your unequivocal team leader, right, who's been injured, and saying, hey, I'm ready to go. I've rested for a few weeks. Trainers are giving the go ahead, right? Who do you go with in this current situation? Like, who would y'all pick? I'm curious to see where y'all thinking would be.
I'm going with the freshman.
Let the freshman thug it out until further notice.
Freshman.
I'm going with the freshman as well because so here's my only question about that. Why, if you were going to play Jacoby Morgan, and listen, JSU fans, y'all gonna leave Doc alone, all right? Leave him alone. If he wants to say who the quarterback is, who cares? T-Jack know who playing, and that's all that matters. So he might be telling us a lie. You right? It doesn't bother me. But anyways, if you wanted to, in my opinion, if you were going to start Jacoby Morgan, why didn't you play him this last game versus Alcorn? That's my real question. And so if you're going to tell me his injury is a week away or 2 weeks away, that's why he didn't play Alcorn, I'm just not buying. I'm not buying what you said. That means you guys are seeing something that y'all aren't liking for him to start against Alcorn. That would have been the perfect warm-up game going into the championship.
Right. What do you other guys think about that? You know, would you start the true freshman or would you take kind of the guy with experience and the team leader?
Oh, man. Lionel just stuck in here, man. How we doing this evening? I know you got some thoughts for us.
No. He's froze?
Yeah, I think it froze.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would say I'm definitely. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I would still stick with the freshman right now because not only did he get you there, but you have that momentum with him. And that's why I say use that Tommy Frazier, Brooke Behringer approach that Nebraska used back in the day.
Yeah.
Dance with what got you there. And if things ain't working out, then you bring in Morgan. You say, let's go get it.
Yeah, shout out Doc, man.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about this type of game? That's a big gamble to take because in a lot of different statistical categories, these teams are 1 and 2. They really are more alike than they are different, regardless of what they want to believe. Right? That's the facts of the scenario. So it's kind of like if you do get behind and you know you say, hey, I'm gonna rock with the freshman, right? And now I'm gonna bring in my senior guy to try to pick up the pieces. It could be too far gone by the time you make, depending on when you make that decision. So it really is it puts, in my opinion, them in a tough spot. Just because at the end of the day, a game of this magnitude is not like any other game. They can argue with their mama. That is the truth of the matter, and that's for both teams. So you kind of gotta make whatever call they decide to make. I'm curious to see how that's gonna be. Ultimately, and it should be a fun game, right? I think it's gonna be real fun to watch as a football fan, and we already know what we coming with, and so. That's that. But
in my opinion, roll with the freshman. You know the thing, chemistry. Got to keep the chemistry going like you had in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, when I said one gonna hit the pothole.
I'm with you there, Doc. Like it's gonna be one of those games where it's gonna be a big turnout. It's probably going to be a partying all night, no matter what goes on. The city of Jackson will be on fire the entire night, really the entire weekend. There will be a little bit of rain, not too much rain, mid-50s, a little bit of wind. So it's going to be good. I just hope y'all can hold up in that stadium. Make sure y'all bundle up out there now. I don't need y'all catching colds and all of that. I need y'all back at work Monday morning. Because y'all shouldn't be celebrating on Saturday because the PV Panthers taking.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, Kayla, you asked the question about why wouldn't they play Jacoby and Morgan last week. Honestly, right. I think they looked at Alcorn as an inferior opponent. I don't think they expected as close of a game as they got. Yeah. Right, even with a rivalry and everything else, you got to keep in mind the year previous they put 40-something points on them at their house. So they're kind of like this Alcorn team. We're not the same, right? And so we're gonna do what we do, and we don't need to put them out there. So, which ultimately, it proved that wasn't the case. So, it definitely gonna be an interesting matchup. I don't know about you guys. I've seen prognostications. Before I jumped on, there was an article that came out with Craig Haley who does a lot of FCS work, and he has PV winning. Right, and
Okay.
I've seen
Okay,
others
Craig.
that have JSU winning. Vegas has JSU winning by 8 points.
Yep.
So it's really one of those things where it's kind of like you can't, as a SWAC fan, as a PV fan, you can't ask for anything else better than what we're about to see on Saturday. And if you can make it, or if you haven't made plans, make some plans to be there because it's gonna be on and popping. So
Never. The president of the 12th fan cult, man, Mr. Mosby. How we feeling tonight? You normally don't
Hey
join us on your
man,
day off.
no man, I love sitting back and listening to TV Nation podcast. But hey, it's that week, you know what I mean? And so just the conversation, the talk, it's getting me excited, man. This is a real football week, man. This is a football week, and I'm just loving here. I'm loving right now because even amidst the banter and all that stuff, you starting to really hear some real analysis about the game this week because people have finally got past the reality of the fakeness of, man, PV ain't got no team or PV ain't got no shot. All that has been pushed out the window for the majority of people who are really looking at the game, and you're starting to really get some real good analysis on what this game may look like. And that's what I'm really excited about, just hearing it, and I'm ready to see it on the field. Obviously, I got it tipped in Prairie View's favor. I've kind of come down, man. I've looked at a couple games of Jackson. I really like how they play defense. I like how aggressive they are. I like how they really try to give you a one look early and really try to change their look up. So that's something that we're going to have to be aware about on the offensive side of things, right? Because they really try to mix those things up really well. So I like that from that standpoint. But they are a team that can be run on. They are a team that can give some plays up in the passing game. And so I still think that we're going to see us have the ability to do those things. On the other side of things, man, I think this may be the first time Jackson has actually faced a team that's very aggressive in the run game from a secondary standpoint. Every game I'm watching so far in the past few games I've just been putting my eyes on, man, a lot of these teams, they're on their back feet. Like the safety's on their back foot. You know what I'm saying? Cornerbacks on their back foot. A lot of these teams even are really playing a lot of man, a lot of like pass first. You know what I'm saying? Mindset, which to me it actually is making no sense as I'm looking at some of the stuff. I'm like, did y'all not see that Jackson ran about 45 times last game, 50 times last game? I'm just confused. Like, if y'all don't understand that they're a run first team, I just don't understand what's going on, right? But that's how a lot of teams have played them. And so when you have a good offensive line, they are able to get their running backs to the second level a lot, because a lot of times the secondary of these teams aren't playing run first. And so they're reacting off of what is going on in the trenches versus them actually kind of applying pressure and being involved in the trenches. And that's something that, again, Jackson on defense, they like to do. They like to come up and be aggressive in the trenches. But that's something that PV has consistently done all year. So it's going to be real interesting to see how Jackson deals with and adjusts to the fact that, man, once PV plays the run first, I don't care if you're a cornerback, I don't care if you're a safety, I don't care what position you play on defense. Number one thing we're trying to do is stop the run. So eyes are on the quarterback, eyes in the backfield, even especially playing zone. Like dudes are shooting to the line once they realize the one play, right? And so I want to see how that aggressiveness of PV's secondary is dealt with and adjusted to, I'll say, right? Because I think early on, maybe first, second drive, I think it is going to be something Jackson got to adjust to, because they just haven't seen it. Like, it's not something, at the end of the day, you can see it on film and say, okay, they're going to do this. Hey, man, they're going to shoot up. But it's different when you play in the game. You realize, like, okay, these guys don't play the run like Bethune or like Alcorn has played us or like Valley has played. They're completely different. And so that third, fourth drive, I think, is going to be real interesting to see how does Jackson adjust to get their running backs in some open space, you know what I mean, to try to create some play. So to me, that's like some of the intricacies of the game that I'm looking at. That I'm really excited to see, how PV deals with it, how Jackson adjusts to it. So, man, I'm excited for this game. That's why I had to just jump on, because that's just something that I want to just add to the conversation. And I also don't think it doesn't matter whether Jacoby and Morgan starts or Lockhart starts. They're the same quarterback, just at different ages. They're the same quarterback at different ages. We're not talking about Stouffer playing, right? We're not talking about they're the same quarterback with different ages. That's it, right? Jacobian is more cerebral because he's older. He's seen certain things that Lockhart hasn't. That's the difference, right? The difference is not in we're not got to change our scheme up as far as what we're gonna do on defense playing Jacobian and Lockhart. It's not changing. It's the same thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they're basically the same. TC saw another Jacobian Morgan and said, "Let me go get that guy to be a part of Jackson State," because he basically the same quarterback, right? So, so to me that doesn't matter, right? You know what I mean? I don't think Jackson runs for more than 200 yards this game. I really don't. I think we're gonna do a good. And when I say stop the run, neither one of the team is stopping the run like teams are gonna have 100 yards. Like, that's not gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen for neither team, right? Both teams gonna have running yards because we run the ball. Both of us run the ball, right? But does Jackson get over 200? I don't see it, right? I think they may have 180 in that range. I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that, right? Because that means if they only have 180 rushing yards, that means they really need to be passing for like 230, 240. And I don't see that happen, right? You know what I'm saying? I also don't think we need to throw for 250, 300, all this other crazy stuff people saying. We need to be at 220 and we need 180 rushing yards, right? That's a very comfortable position for us. If we're in the 140, 130 range, that's getting dangerous, right? Because now we got to lean a little bit more on the pass than we want to. We want Cam to be 20 or 26. We don't want him to have to be, 23 of 39 or something like that. That's too much passing. What we've done and being good at is being very balanced. Look at man, if you look at the past games, we've been like 34 rushes to 30 passes, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been very, very balanced over these very successful few years. Games. We just need to be balanced, right? So I know I'm sharing all my stuff because I just want to get on and get out y'all way, right? But those are kind of my general thoughts, man, of this game. I'm really excited about this game. Like, this game is gonna be one of the ones. And if people think we're not gonna be ready,
oh, he froze again.
Man,
what you're gonna realize, it's one of the ones. You better lock in and don't turn your TV off. Don't turn ESPN2 off. If you gotta go somewhere, TiVo that mug, because you're gonna want to come back. But now the Panthers winning the game. We winning though.
So
we winning.
I want to ask you guys something here.
What's up?
Right? Because we've all been to some extent PV Panther fans or adjacent for a while now. And one of the things that I know I've talked with Lionel about this offline, and maybe Kaylor, we noticed is that since we built this stadium, right, since we've gotten our scholarships back, since we've done a lot of things, the stigma around our program has evolved, right? We get a championship in 2009, right? Wonderful year, wonderful team. We should have repeated in 2010. We were only a game away from doing that because Grambling beat us that year, right? And since we built the stadium, Lionel did the math a while ago. We've won 70% of our contests. My question to you guys is this: we win this game, right? And I'm gonna give my thoughts at the end. What is the narrative of the PV football program? Have we finally shaken the 80 game losing streak Panthers? Hey, longest losing streak of a Division I team in the country. Hey, they never gonna be nothing. They not gonna be nothing. This and third. They can't consistently win, because this is my problem at my core, is that we have a unique situation. We were the creme de la creme in the 30s through the 50s. We have an 80 game losing streak. Then we come back and now we've gotten more to consistent winning ways again. Right? At what point, which was 30 years ago, by the way, at what point in time do we say Prairie View is a national program for our rank? Right? They have great players, they have great talent year in and year out, with 3 different coaches there. They're in position to win the big game. With winning the big game, what is that narrative? What do you guys see that is? Because I'm curious, right? Partially, I'm partially pessimistic that people are going to try to continue to say we're under the radar. People don't know our players. right? Even though Google and ChatGPT are very much so free, right? You know, what is that narrative? Because this is the thing. Really, we can even go back. You take T-Jack out of the situation. Bubba, Eric Dooley, Willie Simmons have all proven that Texas recruits will come to PV. Regional recruits will prefer to go to PV versus some of the HBCUs in their home state or FCS programs. Right? We have the facilities, we have the campus, we have some facilities planned. Right. So you know what is the narrative in you guys? And I'm gonna stop talking. What do y'all think it would be should we win this game as we expect to do so?
Well, I think the narrative is can PB win the big game? You know, TC is 28-8 in his tenure there, so he hadn't lost many games. You know, sometimes you have winning is a learned behavior. Okay, as a program, you have to learn how to win. PV as a program is starting all the way over, and they're 9-3 on this season. So they've weathered the storm, so to speak, in that first season. For them to be in this position at 9-3 and having an opportunity to play for a championship and go on to play for a national championship, I think that these guys are setting themselves up. You know, you mentioned recruiting. You guys hosted one of the top teams in the state of Texas last week in Randall and Bastrop. That's moving everything when it comes to recruiting in the right direction for PV. They're trending in the right direction. They're trending into this game. You know what I mean? So, you know, I know the fans are kind of throwing shade here and there, but the Panthers are no slouch. They're here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I think they go into this game with a lot of confidence that they bring to the table, that they have a chance to go in here and get this win. It's not going to be easy. The odds are going to be against them. But I think they have a great opportunity to prove that they've arrived. Because they hadn't arrived yet. They're still trying to get there.
Personal opinion from the outside looking in, I think you have arrived. And I know, Mark, what you're saying is factual too. You're on the rise and you're trying to get there, but I didn't attend PV. But in my opinion, I think you have arrived, and I think that moniker, that label that you've carried with you. I had a brother that was at PV. He come out of PV in 93. So he was there in the middle of that. He was there when they were getting beat 70-12 regularly by Southern and Grambling and even Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and the others in the SWAC back then. You've come a long way from that. That we shouldn't even put you in the same sentence with that PV era anymore. But as a whole, I also understand where Mark is coming from, where you still trying to kick the door in. But I also don't believe you don't, and I know 2009 was a long time ago. It was 16 years ago, but you're here for a reason. You're here because you earned the right to be here. And we must respect that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this and let y'all finish what y'all got going, man. Loving the show so far. At the end of the day, you got to win. You got to win, right? I think winning the championship, and I think arrival for many people is gonna look different. For some people, we never gonna arrive because for them, they're stuck in whatever la la land of world they're in, right? But I don't care about them. Because in the same token of people that say, man, how PV won a SWAC championship, and they would hear like that, there's a multitude of people right now, like many PV alumni I've talked to, that when they say, man, when people talk about this losing streak and stuff, honestly, it caught me off guard because all I've known is a PV that's been competitive in football. That's what they tell me, because that's all they've seen for the last 2.5 decades, right? And so to me, at the end of the day, the only thing left for us to do is to win the championship. Everything else is in place. The stadium's in place. the recruiting areas in place. Listen, these recruits ain't thinking nothing about a losing streak. They're not thinking about none of that. You think that these recruits looking at Prairie View and their first thing they think about is what arguments we be having on Twitter? No. They looking at PV as a very comparable program, FCS program, with some of the best facilities in the FCS, with coaches who have been able to get them the title game. That's what they look at. They look at it and say, hey man, that's one of the best teams in the SWAC conference. That's what they would look at and see, right? And so the last thing for us to do is simply win the championship. Because for many recruits, look at what T-Jack has been able to do, and he ain't even won the championship yet. What happens when you actually become a championship program? And again, you don't become a championship program until you win a championship. I don't care what you say. If you win a championship, you're a championship program, right? And I don't care if people think you're not a championship program. If you win a championship, you're a championship program, period, right? So that's the last thing for us to do, man. And we only got but 3 more days to realize that, because we're gonna do that, and we're gonna get. I've been so comfortable, last year. All right, this is really the last thing to say, because people talk about my t-shirts and stuff like that. The whole point of the t-shirts was so that we would have a PV Nation podcast. That was the whole point of the t-shirts. The point of the t-shirts was never Prairie View is going to win the 2024 SWAC football championship. The point of the t-shirts was Prairie View fans and nation should expect to win the 2024 SWAC football championship. That was the point of the t-shirts. And so when I look at us on Twitter now, when I look at how we feel in that bravado, when I look at how we got the podcast going and things of that nature, to me, that's the accomplishment. Because the reality is, what T-Jack is coming and saying, hey, hold me accountable to this, that's what we should have been holding people accountable to for the last 2 decades after 2009. Our failure was we didn't hold ourselves to that standard that Frazier brought in. We allowed ourselves to maintain something that was from before, right? When we really should have held ourselves to the fire, saying, no, this is what our expectations are. And now we're there. And so we're going to get the results, because as I've said on this channel many times before, you never will hit a target you ain't aiming for. So I close it with that. I'll holler at y'all.
Hey man, from the president of the 12th fan code, man. I'm gonna be honest. From a younger Panther, right? No, we can win 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody outside of the SWAC will respect us, but JSU, they're still gonna hate us.
They're gonna hate.
Southern, Grambling, Valley, they're still gonna hate us too. And you know what? That's great, because I hate them too. I hated them when I played. I hated them now. I hated the girl's dad I used to date, and he went to Grambling. All right, so it will never change. It will never change.
Ooh.
All you have to do is win and win again, and point and laugh at everybody else who didn't. And that's all you have to do, right? Who cares what happens when you're in the catbird seat? That's exactly how you end up with teams and fan bases like a JSU, or a crumbling dynasty like Southern, a crumbling dynasty like Grambling, right? And it is what it is. So it doesn't make no never mind to me, Isaiah, personally. I love when Prairie View walks in the room. Everyone has to take a gasp and open up their textbook, go to page 563, just to, and because they have to read with their finger going across the textbook, just like this, and say, "Oh, Prairie View went 0-80 back in." That's their favorite thing to do. They can't say nothing about 2025. Every time I try to talk about 2025, they bring up 1989.
Caleb, what you be saying? They bringing out textbooks?
They bringing out textbooks.
Going in the book.
Scriptures. I've seen scrolls. Back in 1938, Prairie View did. You talk about the present, they bring up the past, man. It is what it is.
Digging in the book bag.
So it is, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, that's why we love the SWAC, right? That's why we love this league. In my opinion, it has great talent, the best storylines, the best rivalries, the best classics, and they know how to get the whole South involved in what's going on every single year. And honestly, SWAC TV, in my opinion, is what made this year the year that it has become. You being
And
able
thank God
to,
for that.
yeah,
Thank
because
God for
like
that.
Prairie View, for instance,
Shoot.
we didn't. I think we only had one ESPN game all year, so every single Prairie View game was on
Ooh.
SWAC TV.
It
A
sure
lot of
was.
Bama
Sure
State,
was.
you didn't get to see a lot of Jackson State, you didn't get to see a lot of, I believe, Southern. So with
FAMU.
yeah, FAMU, right? Because they have a lot of ESPN games. But with everybody being able to tune in every Saturday on the same platform, I think that gave a lot of people, in the space, a lot of time to really just kind of see what all talent is being presented in front of us. But I'm sorry, Zay, I'm gonna leave the floor for you, for your
No, no,
for your
I'm
thoughts.
getting ready to jump, man. Like I said, I had a few libations, so it's starting to kick my tail. But I will say this, ultimately, I'm looking forward to a very competitive game. To see a lot of folks in PV Nation that I hadn't seen in a minute. Um, and listen. They can believe what they want to believe. We have sound coaching. We have a sound team. We have every ample reason to believe in our team. And, this is not an excuse. Let me say this again. This is not an excuse. But win, lose, or draw, we're playing with house money. They have more to lose than what we do. We have a first year coach that brought in 73 new players, 34 holdovers from the previous team, and a brand new coaching staff that's in the SWAC Championship Game, and that came from the D2 level, and they said it was a D2 coach. We far exceeded any expectation that anybody had for us, and even some of our own fans. And that's just the whole truth. That's the black truth on it. Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, win, lose, or draw, we leave it all out there. If you players you listening, coaches you listening, with whatever trick play, whatever you got to do, run it. Right, line it up and run it, because we have nothing to lose and everything to gain in this situation. We are out recruiting everybody in our conference. We're out recruiting a lot of FCS teams. We have the infrastructure built to do some things and work as a lower level G5 program currently in FCS clothing. That is a fact. That is not fiction. That is not something Isaiah is saying. You can check our track record on that. Right. We are beating out lower level FBS programs for some of these recruits we're getting. And when we see this transfer portal open, I promise you I'm not lying. So, as far as I'm concerned, we got everything to hold our heads high for, and we're going to win. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not flying to Jackson to come back with an L. I'm flying to Jackson so I can come back and prepare the flight I booked in May for Atlanta I can keep it. So that's all I got, guys. Once again, I appreciate all of you guys for coming on. You know what I'm saying? I promise I'll be a little bit more cohesive next time we on here after we got our SWAC championship. And go Panthers. So that's all I got, guys. Y'all take it from there.
Definitely.
Respect.
Zay. Yes, sir. Any last words for anybody? Any final thoughts?
Man, I enjoyed y'all, man. Thank y'all for bringing me on the show, and I just want to come back and do it again. I'm available. I'm around. Definitely like talking ball with y'all.
Yeah.
And good luck
Yes,
this
sir.
Saturday. I'm rooting for y'all. That's all I gotta
Yes,
say.
sir. Well, I wanted to thank everybody for joining us, man. As always, it was a great time. I'll see whoever will be in attendance on Saturday. All the horseshoe goers. See you guys there. I'm hoping to see a great football game. I'm hoping to see a lot of Jackson tears. I'm hoping to see Vic Flair and his best finely dressed suit, ready to watch these Panthers lose. I mean, watch these Panthers win.
Oh,
Tigers get skunked out. Panthers 31, Jackson State 17. And I'll catch you guys next time.
yes, sir.
Peace.
Good
Yes,
night, y'all.
sir.